Please don't crash. Please don't crash. Please don't crash. Okay, it's not crashing. Whoop, whoop. We hear you. We hear you. Let's go to our YouTube studio. I gotta turn on Do Not Disturb. Content. Live. On. Save. Morning, Q. OQ. Is it QOQ? QOQ. Let's do some scans. Okay. There we go. And we've got everything there. Scans. Morning, Joe. Hey, thanks for that take on yesterday's stock. I knew it wasn't good, but I mean, trade it. A lot of people don't realize is you trade those stocks. When people ask me what are my thoughts on stocks, I automatically think, oh, let's look at it for the long term. What the hell's wrong with you? I am early because I got to get off here because I have got a big day. I'm doing the interview at 3 o'clock today, and I got a ton of crap to go on. Ooh, this is interesting. Bitcoin ETFs. WGMI. I mean, because he had so much to, morning, Mark, he had so much else to announce. I remember SMCI is just an installer of the server racks and chips and things that make that go. Covered call. So it's not a main, and he doesn't want to piss off the other people. Well, I don't know why. I mean, am I looking out energy, AMR? Is there anything nefarious in it? No. I didn't listen to the whole thing. So I don't know. I don't know. Unless, you know, he's jealous of the stock price. Mags, TSL, UDOW, TSLL, FNGU. You mean this the offering? I have it in my notes. They priced it at $875, I think. Just from memory. Watch list. Let's see. Twilio, Mara, AMR, MDB, Rivian, and Tesla. Okay. I don't know why Tesla is in the watch list. It's in the core portfolio. We're going to take it out of the watch list. Yeah, we'll take it out of the watch list. Watch list. Not owned. Let's see if there's anything else in my personal watch list. PFF. Boy, that's a monster of a dividend giver. CLF, we should have QuantumScape. Okay. Frog. Maybe I want to put frog in the watch. You know, I do. Let's put this in the watch list. We're going to put this in the watch list. Merck, Lightspeed, Tesla, JP Morgan. Should probably put this in the watch list. I'm going to put it in the watch list. Okay. We'll put that in the watch list. It's doing too well. Okay, not owned. Let's go to the Dow. No regrets. Frog. Yes, frog. Okay, frog. Merck. Merck's an interesting one. I mean, it's run crazy, pulled back. Now it's starting to cross up again. Okay, NASDAQ. MDB, I already have. Lulu. Lulu should really be in that watch list. Because I do watch it enough that... Okay. Synopsys, Tesla, Netflix, Roper, Illumina. This one, God, can you trade in more of a great range? Okay. Hold on 1 second. I'll be right back. Yaslin is coming tomorrow. She's already late. So she said I'll come tomorrow. Okay. Boom, boom. My housekeeper is texting me, so. Let's see. I have some friends texting me too about. Dad just got paid. Joe Biden is paying Gary. Whoop whoop. In Qualcomm and AMR. I played. It did to the stock. Is SMCI shooting up right now? No, it's down 1.43. Okay, hold on. I gotta get back in the swing. NASDAQ. Then we're gonna look at S&P. Man, they got a lot of S&P scanners here. JP Morgan, Eli Lilly, Verizon, Southern Company. We cover that one a lot, so I'll put that in. Schwab. T and F. Boy, that sounds like a teenager's curse words. But okay, let's go back to the strategy tester. Yes, and then I'm going to start my run. AMR. For those of you that don't know, I got an interview today at 3 o'clock. Look at AMR. Look at that bounce, and you're getting confirmation. Yeah, I mean this'll look at how low that MACD is. I mean, let's just do this chart. We will include this. Okay. Yeah, sometimes I forget about those alpha picks, but I do have that watch list that I created, Scott. So in TrendSpider, the watch list is good. Let me see. Boeing down another 1.63. I was asked to look at Boeing. Full disclosure, I was asked to look at Boeing versus Airbus. I declined because I did not want to incur the wrath of those people that said, I traded Airbus, but it's a foreign stock, and I got a $50 fee charge from my broker. So, I mean, do your own research on that one if you want. Yeah, Boeing is crap. Boeing right now is crap. 50% of Boeing is defense, though. I mean, understand that they're going to be fine. It gets interesting at this point. But, yeah. Grab SMCI under $900. I got to do that. I mean, just look. 910 is where it closed. 895 is where it's trading right now. We're going to go to the Qs. Qs are up slightly. Let's see. The trash guys are outside, so Penny feels the need to defend the house. It's the trash guys. You want the watch list? I'll send you the watch list. Hey, Scott, do me a favor and send me your email address some way. Here's the watch list, Scott, so you can import it. Send me your email address if you renewed it. I think you're the one that I got an affiliate yesterday from. I just want to make sure, because sometimes there's some issues. This is just, and the watch list is just, it's a mixture of everything that we look at. And so it's rather long. It's not something that you want to, really kind of, hey, I'm going to throw a portfolio in. That's the core investment group. But the watch list has, if you scan it, if you're in TrendSpider and you scan it, I mean, it's got some great, it's a mix of Motley Fool, their core portfolio. It's a mix of Seeking Alpha picks. And it's things that I really go over kind of from time to time. And I took from my own personal watch list. Let's see. Oh, okay. Wow. Ooh, I just got dizzy from. Okay, let's open up. We're gonna open that one up. We're gonna open up PDD. We're gonna open up interesting AI play. This one is interesting. Stock is CLS if you want to look it up. It's a great Seeking Alpha article about AI. There's Apple. There's Intel. Here is the SMCI play. This is let's see. I've traded that one before. I have. Yeah, that's an interesting one. Biggest movers of the day. And we've got Fed Day. Okay. And let's go to youtube.com because Jason should have office hours up. But I guess not. At least it's not showing at TrendSpider. Q, that selling's a personal decision. It's Carvana. Carvana is a good one to trade. The valuation is crazy. But SMCI, if you're new to the market, Q, selling is a personal decision. So there are a number, what you should do, and you should get used to this 100%, is before you buy a stock, you have to know when you're going to sell it. Say SMCI, say you bought it. Let's go SMCI right here, and then we'll do the Qs instead. Say SMCI, you're playing on the 4-hour algorithm here in TrendSpider, and you got in at 318. Do you want a 10% gain? Do you want to, if you're new to me, I was talking about this $350 gap this entire way. I was saying, hey, you should buy it when it gets the entry into long one. Just look to cover this. So 345, 260 I added, 265, 318 I added, and it hit the 350. But I didn't want to sell it, even though it hit the 350 and pull back. I didn't feel like selling it because I wanted to add to long term. So it was around, I think I started adding, it was before this 350. I think this was about, it was this earnings period that I started adding to it. So I'm coming up on one year now where I started adding to it, and I saw the gaps, and I said, okay, it's going to come back to fill this gap. It never really did. I didn't sell it. This was painful, and we weren't sure we were going to head up there. So this was painful to hold during this entire time. But I believed in the value of this company, and everybody that I knew that was talking about servers and racks and things of that sort, they were saying, oh my God, this is the company to get. And so then you hit frenzy. And I didn't want to sell into frenzy. I sold around, I think, $1,100, and I think it was around this time. This was painful. It might have been around this time too. But I still am holding my brokerage. Understand that the majority of what I bought during this time period, I'm holding. And the reason I'm holding is it's in brokerage. And so it's a tax situation. So when you sell, you say, hey, when should I sell? Personal decision. When should I get in? Personal decision. But when you get in, you should absolutely know when you're going to get out. Okay. You want to go under? Okay. There you go. Stock Trading 101 Q is about, and what's funny is this one, draw position. So say you want this allows you to identify, say you take a position here and it allows you in TrendSpider to put your price target in. So say you want to put your profit target and then stop level, and it allows you to do that so that you can functionally see this. And you can move these things. You can move your price target by going in there and customizing it. But what you want to do is you want to take your, say, here, we're going to pull this out. Move this position. We're going to draw it. Draw position. We're going to say, hey, so here, if we take this, our stop level for 5% down is going to be, let's see, remove this. Okay. We're going to draw this position, and we're going to say, okay, we're going to take it at 896. There's your levels. So your price target is 11%. It's 2-to-1. So Q. Yeah. I mean, Warren Buffett is not a guy who puts price targets on stuff. Remember, Warren Buffett is a different type of investor, and you have to find your stuff. Q. Warren Buffett selling Apple. I mean, he sold Apple. If you don't think that, he finds a way to sell it, He knows exactly when he's going to sell a stock. He doesn't know the time. He doesn't know the price. But he says when it reaches a valuation and it gets overvalued, he's going to sell it. So, you can put your price targets on there. Warren Buffett doesn't worry about price targets. He just worries about, hey, it feels expensive. So, QQQ, perfect example. When are you getting out on the Qs? Are you getting out when somebody tells you to get out? You have to figure out your comfort level. That's why I say nobody can tell you when to get out. Nobody can tell you when to get in. Personal choice. So ask yourself, why did I get into SMCI? And if the answer was to trade it and make money, then you got to know your price target. If the answer was, well, it's a good business to be in, sit in there for a while. It's all different kinds of things. You've got to come up with your story. Stocks are just, think of it like a car buy. When you buy a car and things start to go wrong with it, do you sell it? Do you fix it? Do you, add more money to it? A lot of stuff like that. So if you're new, you just got to figure out that stuff. But Warren Buffett, he doesn't have a price target. He just knows when a stock is overvalued. He looks at the earnings. I mean, remember, Warren Buffett doesn't use a computer. He still handwrites his notes. So, okay, we're going to start. I'm going to start and I'm going to hit record. Now that my housekeeper canceled, I have a little bit more time. But it's still good to start. Good morning. It is Fed Day, Wednesday, Hump Day, March 20th. Yeah. So I've got an interview today with Steve Kress, who is the lead. If we go over here to Alpha Picks, let's look at Seeking Alpha. I am interviewing him today, so I've got my questions all set. And at 3 p.m., I will release that once it's done. I'm not 100% sure if it'll be today or tomorrow. It will be on YouTube. It will be a separate podcast, so expect that one. Steve Kress. Steve has 30 years of experience in equity research. He is head of Alpha Picks. If you want to get into Alpha Picks, I mean, just look at the performance. We can go over here, and we can look at the live performance of it. Live performance, it's up 125%. Versus 36%. You can see some of the stocks there. If you want to get into Alpha Picks, this is the performance. You go over to my link tree, linktr.ee/daily stock pick, and you can pick it up right here, third one. You save $50 if you use that link, but Steve will be interviewed. I will interview him today. I have a bunch of questions about how do you pick stocks? What do you get into? If you get into Alpha Picks today, how do you build that portfolio? When do you sell stocks? Everything that you want to know, I'm going to ask them. So hopefully, we can get some good information on there. TrendSpider, if you haven't started using office hours with Jason is live usually about 2 days a week. He posts usually about on Twitter when he's live. He's going to be live today at probably around 1:30 during the Fed meeting. So if Jason is live and you're on there, just ask him if he can write a strategy in TrendSpider that reads Jay Powell's mind, and then tell him Daily Stock Pick said I have faith that he can do this, that we can trade something around the Fed decision. Listen, he's not Nostradamus. So where are we on the Qs? We're just capitulating here. It's putting in a nice, algo got you out, hasn't gotten you back in. This trend line, there's a long-term trend line from the October lows that we can look at. We're below that surface, so I completely expect us to go back up. The MACD going down, the RSI hovering at about 50 in no man's land. As long as the MACD is going down, you can expect us to either capitulate or head down. I don't expect any volume shelves to really come into play on this one. You're seeing it build out here at about 437 or so. If we trend down, you're going to see it pull back to 420s or so. But today, it's all about the Fed. And what's the Fed's decision going to be? 3 rate cut projection for 2024. Is it holding strong or changing? The couple of quotes in this article: unless the inflation labor backdrop changes significantly, not only in this week's FOMC meeting, off the table for a rate cut, so is May. So they're not going to cut today. I mean, that's pretty much priced into the market. If for some reason they start cutting today, holy crap. I mean, this market's going to fly. If for some reason they raise rates because inflation has been sticky, holy shit, you're going to see this market crash. So understand, Liz Ann Saunders, chief investment strategist at Charles Schwab, said in an emailed statement she expects the Fed will cut at a slower pace than its aggressive rate hikes in 2022-2023. That means higher for longer. We've talked about this with earnings before. If you're investing in a company that is not making money, higher for longer is not good. This is from Seeking Alpha analyst Dominic Takar. He said, should the Fed make a hawkish shift Wednesday, markets will take that as a higher for longer stance, which could be interpreted as higher until recession. So if you're sending this into recession, that's maybe one of the things that Jay Pell wants to do in order to fight off inflation. Remember, he wants that 2%. Though a slight adjustment, the potential hawkish turn by the Fed is likely to cause the reversal of the speculative fever in the market since the premature dovish turn in December, and thus the price to earnings multiple contraction. Of course, the Fed could choose to do nothing, leave the SEP alone, leave the 3 rate cuts for 2024 on the table, and even maybe cut its PCE inflation projection, said investment group leader Mott Capital Management. That in turn would bode well for markets as financial conditions would likely ease, blah, 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 blah. This article, great article to read if you're not used to the Fed, if you want to know what the Fed's going to do and what the likely market reaction is. Do not forget, and this is an important point, the Fed has $7.5 trillion on their balance sheet. They most likely will need to talk about quantitative tightening, which means shrinking that balance sheet. That's going to get a lot of attention. So there's 2 things that you really want to pay attention to, potential dot plots and rate cuts. We currently have 3 in there on the dot plots. If it goes to 4, look out, rocket ship. If it goes to 2, look out. We're going to get a crash. And a crash, just so I make this fully clear, a crash is a buying opportunity. This is a buy the dip market. Look at what happens every time we dip. Something happens and we're back. The Qs, it's choppy as F right now. It is not fun to buy into this market. If you want to wait, you can wait. Understand, Bob is still out there. And the Bob article, if you want to read it, it's in one of my newsletters. I'm sure you can just go and search for Bob. But the Bob article is about buying at the peaks and how still Bob bought at the peaks. Say you bought here back in December at 411. Didn't feel good when you went down to 400. But you know what? At 411, would you buy it today? Hell yeah, you'd buy it. That was a market high. Say you bought here at 427. Did it feel good when you dipped down here to 418? No, but you're still better off today at 438. Say you bought here at 445 or even here at 448. It doesn't feel good today at 438, but you'll be fine. That trend line is still going up. So understand, buy good companies with good products, with good earnings and good management, and you will be okay. But that's the Fed decision. Biggest movers today, there's a couple. CMG, they announced a 50-for-1 stock split. The company plans to seek shareholder approval in its annual meeting. Shareholders of record will receive 49 additional shares for each share they own, with distribution scheduled after the market close on June 25th. So it won't be happening until June, but the announcement popped CMG. Let's look at CMG stock. If you don't know, this is the bougie Chipotle. This is bougie burritos, which are $15 for some reason. Have no idea why anybody goes in here. I hate their rice. Give me Moe's. Give me Moe's. Welcome to Moe's. I want them screaming that. Chipotle, they're wearing their Birkenstocks and they're sitting in the back cooking their fresh chicken. I hate that rice. I hate that rice. Whatever it's infused with, I'm not a fan. I will eat it because, your boy likes carbs, but I'm not eating that stuff. So 50 for one. But this one, a monster stock. This has just been when you got here to 2,000, did you think it could have 2,700? It's got 3,000 probably in it before June. This one in pre-market is up at 29.50. It's up 5%. 29.50. It's got 3,000. If you bought at 2,000 thinking, oh my God, I've got to get to 3,000. Well, hey, it got to 3,000. That's one of the biggest movers. Another big mover, PDD. We talked about this one. I'll have a little bit more about this one. They killed it on earnings. Intel. Intel was the most telegraphed in the market. You knew they were getting CHIPS Act money. It's up 3% in pre-market. I own a bunch of this at 46. It's up at 43. The algorithm has you out. I haven't gotten out of this one. I still think, I can dollar cost average my way in. I'm going to look at more entries to get in here. I think your bottom line level is $40. Understand, this is not a stock that you get into to double. It's not going to 80. This is a stock that I thought on this last earnings, they were going to kill it. It gapped down. I said I'm not willing to get out of it completely. It's capitulated here between about 41, 41.30, 41.50. And it started to fill this gap at 46. It will fill this gap to 48. They just got a bunch of money. So that's a big mover. And then losers, you can read about them. But yeah. This I thought was a good note from Substack. And I do read other Substacks, and I posted this. First 50 days. We found 25 other times stocks were up at least 5% on day 50. And the rest of the year, so about 200 trading days, was up an incredible 24 times. So out of 25 times, it was up 24 times, up 12.6% on average. That bodes well for, and this is just DC Stocklight. And you can see if we scroll down here to number 5, this was it. A good first 50 days could mean a great rest of the year. The 1 year, 1987, I graduated high school in 1988, but the 1 year it was negative big. I continue to think from this point forward, if you bought at these highs, you are still up by the end of the year. Earnings supports it. Everything that I see supports that move. So I'm not 100% worried. In fact, yesterday we talked about XLE and the energy play and how energy, I think, is quality. Yesterday in Jason's office hours for TrendSpider, and again, you can go and watch this on TrendSpider's YouTube. You can watch it live. Jason did an analysis, a seasonality analysis of energy stocks during election years. So, and he went back 50 years. CVX, crazy win rate. April. So in the month of April, we want to get CVX. And it's specifically in election years. And the actual calculation to do it is too long for me to go through in the seasonality. But down here in TrendSpider on the right, you have seasonality. And April is a big, big month for CVX. So is March, by the way. 100% win rate for the last 3 years. And you're seeing a good month so far for CVX. Yeah, but CVX, crazy win rate. SPY in an election year in August. So mark this on your calendars. In August, SPY has 100% win rate in August. Exxon, 88% win rate in April during election years. And that goes back about 50 years. So energy, solid play. Jason did these seasonality things. He just erased everything except for election years. Just a way you can use TrendSpider with the seasonality. Interesting trade. This guy, Tommy Tuberville, who I think is a blowhard, just a douche of a congressperson. He bought a bunch of Starbuck, SBLK. He knows something. $100,000 worth of SBLK. Dude knows something. I've traded this one before. It is a transport carrier. Maybe he knows that they're going to get some type of exclusive contract. Listen, just look at that douche. You don't tell me that this douche screams insider trading. Complete insider trading. One of the most active traders in Congress. He just bought SBLK, $100,000 worth of SBLK. So maybe he knows something. Again, remember, you're at $23. So take a look at that one. Now let's talk about one of the big ones, SMCI. They diluted. It was down about 10% yesterday. In pre-market, you're down about 2% at 889. They priced the 2 million shares of the public offering at 875. Underwriters have 30-day option to purchase up to an additional 300,000 shares. The gross proceeds are expected to get them $1.75 billion. The offering is expected to close on March 22nd, which is 2 days from now. That's going to add 2 million shares to the public. The company intends to use the proceeds. I mean, this is just standard. The stock price dipped 0.87 on Wednesday during pre-market hours of trading. Let's look at SMCI. 875 is your new support. That is what underwriters are willing to pay for this stock. That is your new support. So 875 is your new support. Right now you're trading at 889. If you want to get into this stock, it is oversold. It can go even more oversold. Understand, 879 is the price for this stock that they're willing to pay. So SMCI, we can go over here, and we talked about this before. I like stock split on this one. Just kind of, it's out there that I think they need more shares. They only have 47 million shares floated. This will move them up to 49 million. Maybe that 47 million includes I don't know if it includes the 2 million. Point is, 2 million shares is not that much. For an S&P 500 company with their market cap, forward PE of 30, PE of 71, still expensive, still incredibly expensive. Let's look at one of their main competitors, which is Dell, who installs servers. They have a forward PE of 12. So Dell might be a better opportunity for you to get in. We're seeing a pullback on Dell and SMCI, full disclosure. Algorithm got you out with 187% gain. 187% gain. The algorithm, the 4-hour algorithm, again, TrendSpider. I don't know why you don't have TrendSpider. TrendSpider, you can click on the link on my link tree down below. It's the top link, and you can get it for 50% off. 50% off, $892 for the year. If you don't have a big enough portfolio to make back $892, then absolutely do not get TrendSpider. You can get Seeking Alpha Premium, which I think is the greatest tool out there. But if we want to look at Dell, it's not just about how much money you make on the upside. It's about how much money you can save with TrendSpider. And look at that. 20% gain in Dell. 20% gain in Dell. The algorithm makes you 133% over 2 years. 22 positions over 24 months. So you're not even trading once a month. Look at this MACD. It's coming down. The RSI is at 48. My expectation is that you come a little bit more down towards this 50-day, maybe at 101, 102. But Dell it's not overvalued. We can go to Seeking Alpha and we can look at SMCI. This one on the quant and everything. I mean, it's just a strong buy. Alpha picks. This is one of their picks. Super Micro issues clarification after recent CEO interview. I don't even know what that's about. You can read it on Seeking Alpha. I'm not going to put it in there, but strong buy. Now, if you want to compare this, we you know what? We can look at their peers, because who is competing with them? HP, Dell, Fujifilm, HPE. Look at the number of employees. Seeking Alpha is covering. Seeking Alpha Analysts covering 15. They're the biggest one that it's covering. Here's the price return. Look at SMCI. Look at HPQ. Look at Dell up 178%. Look at these that are underperforming that are similar to this. FUGY, they have a strong buy. Nobody's covering them, unfortunately. One coverage. So it's a strong buy from that one. But, hold on. I gotta go blow my nose. The pollen is killing me. Morning, Larry. Okay. Sorry, I had to go here. But this is what you get with Seeking Alpha Premium. You can take a look at all of these companies, all of their PE, all of their revenue growth, all of the profitability. If you don't know what any of these things mean, you just hover over it and it tells you. Ownership, shares outstanding. You can see 56 million over here float, 85% of it's floated. HPQ. I mean, look at the amount of millions of shares that these guys have out there. HPE has 1.3 billion shares. Again, SMCI only has 56 million shares out there. So you can look at the 1 month and 3 month performance. Look at this one, 10-year performance, 4,910%. I mean, again, you can take a look at all of this for SMCI. I do think it's a fantastic company. I think it's an opportunity. I think 875 is your thing. Intel, we talked about it. Intel awarded $20 billion in grants. You can read about that. I thought this one, Apple, my dark horse of the Magnificent Seven, could lead the pack in the second half. You guys know I put in quite a lot of money into Apple. I currently hold a ton of Apple. My parents, I put a bunch of money into their portfolio in Apple right around here at 173. We're at 176. You have confirmation. That 50-day, that death cross, it doesn't happen often. When it does happen, it just takes off. Now, the MACD is moving up. The RSI is at 54. This guy puts it really, really well. I really liked his analysis about the risks, about how Apple has tons of cash, how they have the ability to continue to grow. This services annualized revenue, you're seeing how it's so far, it's not quite there. We might get to 100 million this year. So if that gets to 100 million, you're still growing. Look at the services Q1 2018 through Q4 2023. I mean, all of it points to a very, look at that shares outstanding. The conclusion, Apple is one of the best Magnificent Seven that you can get. So that's a good one. Another one that included a great analysis, Google, strong by the cheapest trillionaire. This guy's expecting them to be a $1 trillion company. Goes over Android, goes over the forward PE ratio, how it's super low, price versus earnings per share, free cash flow. Everything that you want to know about this one is in there. Chipotle, we talked about it, 50 for 1 stock trade. I think that's a solid one. If you enjoy bougie burritos, that's it. Commodities, oil and copper, huge flows into oil and copper. If you want commodities and you like to trade, here's some great metals, agriculture, commodity ETFs, metal ETFs, oil ETFs, agricultural ETFs. I will include all of this in the newsletter so that you can trade it. Some of these are fantastic to trade. If you are interested in energy trading or levered ETF trading, again, I've got the list here in Seeking Alpha. I provide you all of this when you sign up for Seeking Alpha, and then, in TrendSpider. I say it's Seeking Alpha, but in TrendSpider. In TrendSpider, when you sign up, I give you all my watch lists, all my scanners, which we'll go over later, and my algorithms that allow you to see this on the screen when you enter and exit. Those are things that I provide you just for signing up through me. Now, Celestial stock. Maybe an ultimate growth after revenue, whatever GARP means. I don't know what GARP means, but I know it's a growth thing. And this is an AI stock, Celestial. The symbol is CLS, and this person particularly goes over it really well. CLS, in my mind, I mean, we can look at the stock, but it's just a monster, and I think you should read this. If you're interested in AI, this might be an opportunity to get this on a pullback. Again, it's CLS, which is Celestial, and we can take a look at this. What I noticed is how incredibly volatile this stock is. Now, Quant, strong buy at 4.98. Wall Street, it's a buy. I don't think it's heavily covered. 10 analysts, 4 of it as a buy, 4 as a strong buy. Average price target, 41.96. We can go over here to FinViz, and we can look at the most recent to see if it holds true. I mean, it's 2023. Average price target 41.96. PE of 21. You kind of look at this. Short interest. No real short interest. Nobody's really shorting it. No insider buys. It's not huge. Again, it's a $5 billion company. They even have 117 million shares floated. But if we go and we look at Celestial stock and we look at some of the summary stuff, look at this chart. I mean, that chart over 1 year, 1 year you're up 251%. 5 years, you are up 395%. Year to date, you're up 46%, and you're seeing a nice little pullback. Now, the PE, forward PE of 14, that's not crazy. That's not crazy at all. As far as the algorithm and TrendSpider goes, just got you out with a 40% gain. Now, mind you, over the last 2 years, the algorithm makes you 214%. Buying and holding makes you 249%. 23 positions over 24 months. It does underperform buy and hold. But what I like about this is with a stock that's this volatile, you win 27% of the time. Your average win is 27%. You win 35% of the time. So you lose 65% of the time. But the algorithm is smart enough to know, hey, you could win, 27%. This one just got you 40%. Now, it's supporting right there at the 50-day. You do have a gap down here to 37. I would be very careful. I would trade this with the algorithm. But what I like is this immediate move of the MACD, which coincides with this. And this isn't as steep. And you're seeing right as this starts moving down, you're seeing it move just sideways. Now, there's no real catalyst in this stock other than earnings on April 24th. But I like this one. I really like this one when I read about the analysis. It's an interesting one. So, again, CLS. You know what? I'm going to put this in the watch list. We already have it in the watch list. Interesting. It must be on the, it probably is one of the Alpha Picks buys, to be honest with you. Because that watch list includes Alpha Picks, Motley Fool portfolio, and it includes ones that I particularly watch. So Celestial Holdings, interesting article. If you want to read it, it'll be in the newsletter. PDD, they blew it away. I mean, PDD is up, in pre-market, it's up 17% at $150. China's starting to come back. Just so you know, PDD is, this is TMU, PDD Holdings. I think they own TMU. It's up at 150. So that puts you up here, up near the top. It's right here. So if we just look at a weekly of this one, you're going to see your actual tops around $200. This is getting past, see this resist. We're going to put this in. Hold on. I'm going to put a line right at about 150. Which is where it's trading right now at, $150. We're going to put a line right at 150. Okay. Take a look. See where it started to really break out during this earnings, got to 150, got up there. See where it really rejected, right after the last earnings and just went down right there. Good earnings again. My guess is you'll probably see this to about 175. Just a guess. I mean, again, you've got the MACD going down. You're going to have it start to cross up. Great earnings. So PDD killed it. With earnings today, you have Micron, MU. And if you want to see a Micron play, just go to dailystockpick.substack.com. Again, this is free. This newsletter is free. So I have no idea why more people don't sign up for it. But if you want a Micron play, I put it down here in the free newsletter right here. Micron fiscal Q2 earnings preview with eyes on HBMX and Micron. I pointed it out on a weekly chart. Key point was to wait until after earnings to see the guidance supports the breakup after the resistance. I think it could break out to 135, 160. So you have that one, and that's a free play. KBH Homes, KBH. This is one, if you want it, new homes. I mean, they've been on a tear. This stock has been on an absolute tear. Home builders on a tear. You're seeing some divergence where the RSI is going down. The MACD is going down. The stock is trading sideways. Could make a move for a higher price on this one if the earnings are good, particularly in the home builder segment. I like BLDR, Builders Resource. That's the one that I personally own. And another one that could provide some volatility today, Chewy. This one I've traded in the past. Now, this is not a long-term play. This is just something that's, algorithm loses you 23%, buying and holding loses you 58%. This is an expensive stock that has no position in your portfolio. This is a 100% play. Could provide some real volatility today. So if you want to scalp it, you can scalp it. Tomorrow, you have Nike. Nike, in my mind, I own this one. I own like $1,000 of this one that I played on this gap down. I think I bought it at 120. I still own it at 120. Looking to dollar cost average, I don't know if I'll have that opportunity. But tomorrow's earnings, too, is the stock that I should have bought, which is Lululemon. There's 2 stores in the mall that are always packed. Lululemon and Apple. This is a stock that I should own. You're seeing it right now put in this capitulation right here, and you're seeing it before earnings. This is support at 400. If they report bad earnings, I would fully expect you to pull back to 400. If they report good earnings and they give good guidance, I would expect this to get back to 500. I mean, that's just right there is a nice trading range for you that you've put in ever since the end of January. So, and one other one for tomorrow is FedEx. And FedEx has been rumored to be talking to Amazon about a partnership. Is this one that potentially gets the partnership? And if they get the partnership, or if there's any mention of this, or if they continue the turnaround, you're going to fill the gap up to 280. 280 is the gap that this gap fill may not be enough to support for FedEx. You may be able to get this gap fill. It's been on a tear. Algorithm loses you 20%. Buying and holding this stock makes you 16%. So it's messy. Right now, the algorithm has you in, and the run is currently 7%. But again, if you want to play it on earnings, I would wait until the earnings are actually announced tomorrow. Social requests, BMR, B333B wants me to look at BMR. That's a lot of freaking Bs, dude. Beamer Imaging. This is a hype. I mean, this is 100% hype. So I trade it. Don't own it. They're not making money. I don't even have to look, but I can guarantee you they're not making money. They're losing $0.7 million. They have $2.91 million in sales. So you're making $2 million, but you're losing $70 million in the business. You have 7 million shares floated. There's no shares out there. Let's see, short interest, short float, 5%. You're up year to date 377%. Why would you want to get into something that has no earnings, is up 377%, and is pulled back? Trade it. Don't own it. Trade it. So this has no reason to get you in. Now, if we go and look at BMR over here in Seeking Alpha, we can look at it. I can show you kind of the summary of this one. There's, if you want to trade other ones, strong buy in the quant, strong buy in Wall Street, but nobody covers in Wall Street, by the way. If we go over here, we'll look at one analyst. One analyst has a strong buy. And if you go over here and you look at the price target of, let's see, target price $8, there's nobody that covers it. It's one person that put a price target of $8 on it. B333B, you may be the dude that put the $8 price target on there. That's how bad this is. This is not something you want to hold. Again, if you want to trade this one, I can't distinguish between whether you're asking me to trade it or own it. If you're asking me to trade it, have at it. Have at it, Hoss. If if you know how to trade this one, go at it. Learn how to trade based on confirmation. And you know where you can learn how to trade based on confirmation? My paid newsletter. Yeah, if you want to pay for the newsletter, you can pay for the newsletter. This is all. Go to the education center down here and just see all. It's like 8, 9 newsletters, 5-10 minutes each. Confirmation, MACD, button hook, algorithm. How do you trade on this? PE, golden cross, death cross, shared strategies, divergence. What does that mean? Why the 4-hour time frame? Why do I like that? Trading on a 5-minute chart. I go over that. When to sell. This is a free one, by the way. You can read this one for free. It's not even paid. When to sell stocks. Trading using candlesticks. This is a 5-minute chart program that I go over. Trading with VWAP, volume weighted average price. So you know, learn how to trade. This is a trade. There's nothing more than a trade in this. It's not one that you want to invest in long term. It could be a $100 billion company. I don't know. But right now they're losing $70 million, but they're only making $2 million. I mean, think of it this way. Think if your mortgage was $7,000 a month, but you only earned $20 a month. How are you making that payment? Oh, you're going to ask for more money. That's exactly what they're going to do. They have 13 million shares floated. They ain't making enough money, so they're going to dilute you. They're going to dilute. That's essentially what they're going to do. Shep sold SMCI in pre-market, taking profits. Then later in the day, grabbed 90 shares at $8.75 with house money. Got some free cash if it ever goes to 7 with the 7 handle. SMCI, I think you played it completely right. That $8.75. I know you typed this in before it was floated out there. It's trading at $8.95. I think if you grab it at 700, you're fine. I am waiting for confirmation to try and get back into this one. I think $8.75 is your support, though. I think with that pricing at $8.75, I think that's your support. Steve Nilsson, he wants me to ask Steven Nilsson, ask Steve if this, I'm reading this word for word, and I have no idea what you're asking, but I'm going to try and interpret it. And if I'm wrong, you can comment again or email me or contact me. But Steve, ask Steve, and he says, talking about Steve Kress from Seeking Alpha Picks, ask Steve if the season changes have any correlation with stock training. I assume that's trading, and it's just all autocorrect. Stock training because of people's emotional attachment to trading. Seasonal changes they do have season. I mean, seasonality we see. You can backtest seasonality. So I think that's what you're talking about, Steve. Steven Nilsson, I think that's what you're talking about. It's to ask Steve if seasonality has any correlation to actually stocks. We know that it does. I mean, it's mathematics. So the question isn't about seasonality, but it's about, do you believe in fundamentals or do you believe in a technical? Because seasonality is part of technical trading, and that has no emotion. You're kind of mixing the two there between an emotional trade and a seasonal trade. Seasonal has more to do with the actual technical portion, not necessarily the emotional portion. They might be correlated, but as far as I know, maybe you can correlate them. But from a stock standpoint, I think the seasonality is more technical. John Newall, loving the show. What are your thoughts on Sonova Energy? I don't even know what Sonova Energy is. Sonova Energy. There it is. Nova. Let's look at the stock chart. Oof. I mean, God, that looks ugly. Let's look at Nova. This is a it's solar. Stay out of solar. I mean, they're losing $417 million. They have cash on hand about 240. You're going to get diluted. I mean, that's average stock target price is $17. You're trading at $4. But downgrade $14, downgrade $9. You're trading at $4. Solar is one of these things. So understand, solar energy as a whole, John, it is a bad place for higher for longer because you've got higher interest rates. And solar is all about interest rates. It's all about funding that purchase. Higher for longer, don't get into solar. In my mind, as far as my solar exposure, QCLN. And am I happy that I still own this? No. Am I happy? No. Look at the weekly. I mean, this is your solar kind of stocks. Everything looks like this. It's a rough 2 years. And yes, I've owned it since here at 38. Should I got it out of the 38? Yeah. I mean, should I have gotten out up here at 60? Yeah. Should I have gotten out at 80? Yeah. Should I have gotten out at 89? Yeah. I think my average purchase price is somewhere in the $10 range on this one because I bought during the March lows. And so I'm still up on this one. Should have, it's in a retirement account. Should have sold it. I'm not big on solar. Thoughts on Taiwan Semi from Dex from Spotify. I mean, they're making all the Qualcomm, every chip they're making. You know, it's going to take years for anybody to get into the foundry business like they are. The problem that you have with Taiwan Semi is political. And famously, Warren Buffett said, I'm not willing to take that political risk. So Taiwan Semi, you can invest in it. It's not crazy to think that this one continues to just outpace everybody. The PE in the semiconductor space is just crazy low, but this is just more a political stance. So if you think Taiwan's going to invade, stay the F away from this. Or China's going to invade Taiwan. Stay away from it. Because if China invades Taiwan, this is the biggest hurt stock out there. They are trying to diversify themselves by building foundry plants here in the U.S. in Arizona. They've got some planned in Japan. I think they might have moved some to Southeast Asia. But right now, their foundries are in Taiwan. And the problem is, if China makes a move on Taiwan, then this is a $20 stock. They're not going to be making anything. China's going to stop all shipments of chips. So, and again, we've got bigger issues if that happens. I don't think that this is crazy to think that you're 14% off your 52-week high at 158. Is that crazy to say that 158 it can be revisited? No. But Dex, that in my mind, you've just got to understand. That's what you're trading. If you're investing in the long term, that's what you're basically saying. You know what? I don't care if China invades. Warren Buffett says it's not worth the risk. Up to you. But again, if they get invaded, Qualcomm, Nvidia, AMD, everybody that they make chips for winds up getting killed. Let's talk about scans. Eli Lilly. This is a core portfolio stock at $773. It's an $800 stock. Algorithm gets you back in at $768. Just buy it. MACD is right along the oscillator. It's expensive. Yes, you're paying for best in class, but that's one that you want to get into. Netflix got a cross up, and it's just continuing its run. I mean, again, at $489, this is another bullish cross up here, and it's just going to continue to go. It's a $700 stock. You're at $622. Just buy it. Tesla has been capitulating down here at about 170. It's moving. 172 yesterday was the buy. You're trading at 172 right now. You got to make your determination if you like this one or not. Cleveland Cliffs core portfolio. There is talks that they may make a pitch for X U.S. Steel, and they may undercut the price by a lot. They are in a position where they could buy it. The move is, and here's the thing. So essentially a Japanese firm offered to buy U.S. Steel at $45 a share, something like that. You can read up about it. But they offered to buy it. The Biden administration said, we ain't allowing a foreign power to own an American steel company. A Cleveland Cliffs made a bid for U.S. Steel. That was rejected, even though the Steelworkers Union certified that they wanted Cleveland Cliffs to buy U.S. Steel. So now Cleveland Cliffs is in a fantastic position because two things. They've got the union behind them, and if they go ahead and buy it, the Biden administration can't block it. And so the assumption is if they said, hey, you can't, a foreign power can't buy this, and then they come in and say, well, a U.S. company can't buy it either, they look like absolute freaking fools. Again, they'll look like, I don't think they mind looking like fools sometimes, but they'll look like absolute fools. So Cleveland Cliffs is in a good position, and this will trade back to the $25 level. Make no mistake about it. We can look at the 52-week range here. The 52-week range of Cleveland Cliffs, 21.47, so you're 2% off. I would buy this under 20. Right now you're trading at $20.96, at $20.85. I would buy it under 20, but you did get a buy here at $20.97. Interesting one. Alpha Pick that everybody loves to hate on because everybody who signed up for the Alpha Pick special got into this one around 70. It has another cross up. 58 was a great buy on this one. 61, another confirmation. You can get back in. It's just another one. Mara, I would stay away from Bitcoin right now. And if you want to double down on Bitcoin, I would probably go with MSTR. But Mara's bouncing off that 200-day right now. It doesn't have confirmation, so be very careful. MACD is very low. The RSI is low. It got to an oversold standpoint at about 37. That's not super oversold, but I think, from a standpoint of a pullback, you are seeing a pullback on Mara, and it's going to probably break this 200-day. Bitcoin is just a little bit weak right now, but like I said, if you want to double down, we talked about how MicroStrategy is just a levered ETF on Bitcoin. They basically take out loans and buy a ton of Bitcoin, and they just bought a ton more in in February. So this is one that you want to wait for. MicroStrategy, I don't know. I think I've got this. Yeah, it's in the Bitcoin and it's in the watch list. So when it does present us with an entry, we will get in. This one, entry at 461, the algorithm still has you in. Now, here's the thing about the algorithm with MicroStrategy. It makes you 615% over 24 months. You know what you get if you bought it 24 months ago? 230%. 22 positions. Your average win is 42%. You win 45% of the time. So when the algorithm gets you in here, you want to listen. That's just one. AMR, which is an alpha pick stock. This one got you in. This is in the watch list, so it comes up on the scan. So AMR, this is Alta Mesa Resources, 317. If you're looking to build your alpha picks portfolio, this is one that's in there. MACD cross up, real low, nice pullback, solid performer. Look at that. I mean, that's it doesn't even have a 200-day because it's still kind of new. Read up on it. MongoDB, Rivian, Frog, Verizon, Merck, Lulu, Illumina, Southern Company, Schwab. I like Schwab. Schwab is one that they took over TD Ameritrade. There are two brokerage firms that I would recommend to people of significant wealth, and it's Fidelity. Even if you don't have significant wealth, Fidelity loves customers. I have Fidelity. That's where the bulk of my money is. And Schwab's the other one. Now, if we look at a weekly of Schwab, you're going to come back to probably your $82 price point right here. That's where you're going. The 50-day has started to move positive. The 200-day still moving positive. You have confirmation over that 9-day. This is a company that is rebounding from that banking crisis that they had. This was March of last year. They got killed during that banking crisis. They took over TD Ameritrade. This is one that's coming back. Robinhood has been super strong. Schwab is just the Robinhood of the rich. That's essentially what it is. I like this one. And then finally, AT&T and Ford are ones. One that I wanted to point out, Bitcoin. I have a Bitcoin ETF tracker, GMI, which is Valkyrie Bitcoin. This is the miners. We talked about Mara getting a cross up. This is one that got a cross up too. You don't have confirmation. Be very careful. The MACD is low enough. The RSI is low enough that it might be a good entry. The algorithm, 129% over 25 months. You lose 36% if you just bought and held this one. You win 32% of the time. Your average win is 33%. So you can see here, you had a nice, 37% there. You could have gotten out when you started just bouncing around here and the MACD was crossing down. You could have gotten out. This has a nice 73% on this one. So 15, are you taking off to 20 again? WGMI, again, if you want any of these lists, they're included when you email me if you get TrendSpider. We have a couple of levered ETFs that I wanted to point out. All of these will be in the newsletter, so sign up for the newsletter. MAGS, this is the Magnificent 7. This is the Magnificent 7 ETF. If you want the Magnificent 7, this is one. It's not levered, MAGS. You're in at 33. The algorithm makes you 48% versus buying and holding this one is 56%. Personally, I'd rather own the actual stocks. It's just me. FNGU. This is GU. This is the FANG indexed. This is FANG. It's indexed 3 times levered. 315. So are we going to see a run on the FANG? Look at how that MACD has come down below the oscillator. It's starting to cross back up. Is today the Fed meeting? Is this going to be the catalyst for this to run? So any questions you have, you can hit me up here on the link tree. linktr.ee/daily stock pick. All the socials are above. If you want TrendSpider, again, $800, $900 for the year. If your portfolio is large enough and you want my 4-hour algorithm, if you want my 65-minute algorithm, if you want the watch list, the scanners that I use to look, all of these things, all of these tools all rolled into one, TrendSpider's your deal. Click on that link, you'll get over here. It's $892 for, you save 50%. I don't know if my my DSP25 will save you an additional 25%. I don't think so, but try it. If it gives you a coupon code, you can use DSP25. Seeking Alpha, it is the second pick. Seeking Alpha Premium, I can't tell you enough. Typically what you do is you spend money to save time, $189 for the year. It's a $50 off coupon, free 7-day trial. It is absolutely fantastic. This is the tool that I use to try and find stocks that have opportunities. I find the quant. If you can't afford TrendSpider or you don't have enough big enough portfolio, but you think $189 is worth your time because it's a one-stop shop, that's what I like about it. The Alpha Picks. This is the third one right down here, Alpha Picks. It is $449. I get you a $50 off coupon. S&P 500 is up 32% since July 1st, 2022. Alpha Picks is up 105%. You 3 times your money. It's 2 data-driven stocks each month. They tell you when to sell. Access to over 20 stocks on day one. How do you build your portfolio? Well, listen to my interview this afternoon, or you can just go to this third link and find out more information. Join Webull. Best mobile trading platform out there. I do have Webull. Let's see. What's my Webull account up to now? Let's go to Webull and look. We are at 5256. So use this link. You get up to 75 free stocks. I think it's up to 75 now. I don't know exactly what to get you, but this link will get you a special offer. Deposit money in there. I have money in there. Again, I put $1,000 in there. I have donated a lot. I will provide, if anybody wants me to provide a screenshot because you don't believe it, I donate some shares of Apple every year to, I believe it's St. Jude's is what I do for the kids. So I put that money in there. I donate the shares. And this may not have hit the cash. I take the Apple stock, I get these program, and I try to pull out a share, not pay the capital gains on that share. I actually have to share money. So that's from the government. It's maximizing tax liability. Not maximizing your tax liability. So, and the newsletter is the newsletter. It is what it is. It is free. There's no need to pay for it. It is free. The paid stuff is probably the most popular stuff because it is more educational, but it is free. I will have coupons for you guys for the paid newsletter too. If you're interested in a coupon, just email me. But if you have any questions, you can hit me up on the newsletter. Just respond to the email if you'd like. I do respond there. But that's in the link tree. If you've made money, use these Cash App, Venmo, and PayPal. You can gift me with any of those if you made money. Again, if you're playing Inverse like Noah yesterday, Inverse, just gift me. AT&T, I save you $20 off your first month of Visible phone service as well. Visible service. This is the phone service that I have personally. I love this. This is my phone service. And if you look at the plans, check out our plans. You get $20 off your first month. The first month is $25. This is the plan that I have. I don't have the $45 one. If you are interested in absolute 100% Verizon level service at $45 a month, get the $45. If you are interested in just normal cell phone service, I don't get rate limited that much. I can listen to all my stuff. I can watch YouTube videos. I can do everything. I used it as a mobile hotspot when my home service went down to record this podcast. So, yeah, it's good. It's really, really good. So if you have any, use this link tree as a place to support the podcast. That's all I ask. Okay, I am out of here. Enjoy your Fed day. Join Jason live during the Fed presentation today because I will probably be on there. But I am interviewing Steve Kress at 3 o'clock. So let me know your interests. Okay, talk to you later. Bye. Bum, 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 bum. Okay, let's see. Did you start early today, Gary? I'm going to listen at 1.75. Yeah, I started early. Morning, Mike. What about exit plans with your core portfolio? What's your exit plan for Apple? D-Man, I own 7 figures of Apple stock in brokerage. So the majority of that are gains because I just haven't sold. Not to get too in the weeds. Exit plan is to sell it. I mean, it's not, I'm not going to sell it all at once, but to maximize my taxes, I'll sell it. I'll draw it down at some point in time. I use it as donations. Like I said, I use it to, when I actually need cash, I can sell it. And I don't care what price I sell it at because it's all gains. But if I don't, okay. So for instance, say I, a stock that I really like and I want to invest $50,000, but I only have $10,000 of cash because it's all allocated to other investments. If there's investments that I don't want to get out of, but I really want $50,000 of this new stock, I'll just sell $50,000 worth of Apple stock. I mean, at that point, I don't care if I'm maximizing Apple. I don't care if it's at 171 and I think it's going to 200. If that new stock is going to make me more money, I'll sell the Apple stock and make sure. So far, I haven't had to do that. I've had plenty of cash on the sidelines. So, in fact, I still have cash on the sidelines. Let's see. Let's see. I usually have well into the 6 figures of cash sitting on the sidelines that I just live with. Let's see. Position. We're going to go back here. I'm going to look at my brokerage account. And yes, I have well into the 6 figures of cash. So the plan is still in place if I ever need it. David, I went over CMG. I'm not a fan of the bougie burritos. I'd rather have Moe's. Split does nothing. I mean, honestly, Split does nothing. The stock will continue to go up. The valuation is crazy. I mean, the valuation was crazy at 2,000. It's crazy at 3,000. I don't think the Split does anything to push this stock into a buy for me. I don't like the rice. I don't like it. I don't want to pay $15 for a burrito. Other people do. It's not my thing. I mean, in my mind, look at the, if we look at the peers, DoorDash, Starbucks, look at CMG. I mean, CMG, look at Dash up 122% in 1 year. CMG looks like a chump at 14. Compass Group, Yum Brands. I mean, none of them have as good a return. Even when you go to 3 years, I mean, look at that. So it's performed really, really well. The valuation is where it gets an F. That's it. What is SS1 on the charts mean? I don't know what SS1 is. Where's SS1, Peter? I don't see an SS1. Tell me where you're seeing it. Then I got to go edit this together. Because while I'm usually on here till 10:30 or so, I just got a busy day. I don't know what SS1 is. Let's see. Oh, SS1. That is a filing. Form SS1. This is an SEC filing. That's what it is. But I don't have it on my charts. But if you see it, obviously it's set up for you on the charts. But it's an SEC filing, SS1. And you can read about it here. SEC, what is about? Registration, new security required. So it's an SS1. I think that's what you're talking about. It's probably the reincorporation from Delaware to Texas. The proposal. I mean, I don't have it. It's not on, if you're in TrendSpider and you're looking at this, it's probably in analyst estimates, market breadth, mentions short volume splits. No. Chart pattern, trends, indicators. Let's see. Let's see. I think you may be able to go up here to assistant and type SEC filing. Will it find it for you? No, I guess not. 111. I don't know how you take that off, but it's probably in your indicator list. Like I have earnings and stuff listed. In your indicator list. But it's a filing. My guess is that they filed, if we just look at Tesla, they probably filed in. No. Let's see. SS1 filing. News. Yeah. They probably filed something. That's probably what they did. So, but that's what that would be what that would mean. Okay. I am out of here. You guys have a great day. I will talk to you tomorrow. Fed meeting. Oh, look at that. They're in front of the fab plant that Intel's building in Arizona. The CEO. I think it's amazing that one person is in charge of all of that crap. But